Hey everybody, and welcome along to this week's edition of the Irish Golfer Podcast. Peter Finnan here, and joined by Ronan McNamara.
How are you getting on?
Sporting a fresh new beard.
Yeah. Well, I'm not shaving until Mead lose another game. So, it's been a couple of months.
It's coming off next week, I'd say. It's coming off next week. How have you been? All right?
I've been good, yeah. A bit underwhelmed with what I saw last night at Bay Hill, but it was just a weird day for me. I celebrated Bruno Fernandes' goal, so I'm feeling a bit on edge today now, to be honest with you.
Liverpool, double handfuls at this stage, 15 points clear.
In second gear.
That's terrible. The championship's heating up.
It is.
I'm not
worryingly for you.
I'm not comfortable. HMS pissed the league of like the Titanic hitting an iceberg in the last week, but we'll be back on track. We'll be grand. We have enough life rafts to get us through the end of the season, hopefully. So I suppose before we get stuck into it, quick shout out to flowgas.ie, who are our podcast sponsors. As we call them out every week, they support every level of Irish golf. They do have packages available for both business, consumer, and they do gas and electricity. So visit flowgas.ie, and they definitely have a package that suits your energy needs. Right.
Lows of -1 on Friday night, so time to get them in the bag there.
Get in quick, get them locked in. Right, I suppose there's only one place to start. Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. You weren't a fan?
No,
I just detected you've been talking about this for the last half hour.
I have. This is just one of those, if you only read the report, you would say, oh my god, this was thrilling, it completely went in and stole it. Even though Russell Henley chipped in the 16th, I was just sitting there thinking, this is the most lifeless pile of crap I've watched in ages. I don't know, it's just, there was no real compelling characters there at the top of that leaderboard, and for so long it was just, rolling along. Morikawa, par. Corey Connors couldn't get a putt to the hole to save his life. I'm actually sick of watching him in final days now, to be honest. And, Henley wasn't really making a move either. Kim wasn't making a move. Nobody kind of from outside that chasing pack was making a big surge. Jason Day wasn't doing anything either. I'd say from the 5th to
Keegan Bradley made a few shakes.
Yeah, but I'd say from the 5th hole to maybe the 14th, I didn't see a meaningful putt go in. And I was just, for the fact there was nothing else on, I kept watching. Yeah,
I don't know. It's you kind of have to be careful what you want or what you wish for in these things. I just thought the course setup was class for that. But if you have a tournament set up like that with really fast, firm fairways, because it was with brown, it was nearly dead. The greens were the same, really fast, firm. There was zero moisture around. The only moisture was in the rough, and it was cabbage. And I don't know, I prefer watching that than I do Hideki Matsuyama shooting 35 under and beating Colin Morikawa early in the season.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, I love that. I love the score that won. I love the condition of the course, the setup, everything. Love all that. I just didn't think it was very exciting.
Yeah, but that's a byproduct of the test. I thought it was exciting.
No, it can still be exciting.
I was excited
when they're all
lads
struggling. Yeah. But there was just no one making a go at Morikawa, and he actually ended up kind of sleepwalking into a loss.
Yeah, he did. He stood off. I think he was three shots clear stepping off the 13th green.
Yeah,
and two shot swings, just boom. But that's more Henley. Henley put the. When he had a bogey, he had a bogey. That's
what I mean. Up until that point,
there was nothing. Yeah,
there was no one willing to step forward. They're all waiting for Morikawa to make a mistake, which, in fairness, he wasn't really making. But then Henley obviously does what he does on 16 and celebrated he put a coffin into the ground and just got on with it.
Even when he won, he didn't do anything. No. He just grand. Where am I playing next? I love that. I think it's brilliant. Russell Henley is a strange one for me. I actually really like players like Henley. I admire guys he's 36 years of age. He's up to 7th in the world now. He's won close to $40 million. And I kind of have no idea who he is.
Yeah, well, that's it. There goes one of the great each-way bets for the Masters now, unfortunately. Or a first-round leader bet. He's definitely going to be bald in about 10 years' time. He's going to go down the Branson.
We're on bald watch again.
That was one of the things that came into my head.
When he took the hat off.
Yeah, I was
he's a bit of frontal lobe baldness going on. Man's on a slippery slope. Listen, $4 million there from the weekend. He can afford to go to Turkey and get himself sorted out. But
mental to think that he's 7th in the world.
but that's sort of boils back to what we were saying last week or the week before on, like, the world rankings are they're bonkers like that. But yeah, 7th in the world now after that. Considering it's been 854 days since his last win, you don't expect someone to be 7th in the world after going that long without a win. But he's racking up decent, like, he's always thereabouts. Like, when you look, he's been knocking on the door. Like, I was looking at his major finishes even last year. So last year he finished 5th at the Open and 7th at the US Open in Pinehurst. The year before, he was 4th at the Masters.
Yeah.
So he's a man for getting big finishes in big events. He just hasn't won.
Since COVID, like, you look at his form guide, he was 222nd in the world in 2019, 2020, 57th, 2021, 57th, 30th in 22, 24 in 2023, 17th last year, now up to world number 7.
Like, he's a steady curve.
He's steady curve over the last 5 years.
Yeah, which, like, and I love that. I love seeing guys like that. He's just working away, chipping away every year, getting better. And he's 36 years of age, a lot of water under the bridge. He knows how to get it done. He has a strange golf swing compared to when you're looking at him going up toe-to-toe against Colin Morikawa, and Morikawa is like elegance and brilliance. Every position you would teach someone to go if you could just give them a golf swing, Morikawa epitomizes it. But I love seeing guys like this owning his own golf swing, going out to play golf, not golf swing, and just gets the job done.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Like, always known as a great putter. And it's ironic that he actually changed his putting grip over the last couple of years to a claw one as well. And yeah, he's just one of those players, when he stands over a 6-footer, you're expecting him to make it 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, no, I like... Long may it continue. Yeah, I like seeing this. It was good. And, like, he's probably a lock for the Ryder Cup at this stage as well. Like, we're messing about with Maverick McNeely a few weeks ago saying, this guy is...
You wouldn't want to play him. He's
you
a
wouldn't
gritty.
want to play him.
Like, he was with Scotty Scheffler at the President's Cup as well, and he arguably outperformed Scheffler in the 3 matches that they played. So, a definite, serious lock. And someone who's kind of emerged, because it's been a European-dominated PGA Tour so far. So, I saw a few rumblings on Twitter that, like, the USA players who were winning, like, over the last few weeks, they were, creeping up close towards that qualification spot. So, I think it was about time that somebody who's a genuine Ryder Cup contender actually won on the PGA Tour from an American point of view. Yeah,
he'll make it in on points. And he's like, it's not going to be like someone like, I don't know who was obscure from the last one that just made it in. And
this is the
Brian Harman or someone.
Yeah, well...
Like, he's much better. He'll contribute an awful lot more than someone like Brian Harman.
He will contribute a lot more, yeah.
To a team room and to a setup. Brian Harman, actually, I need to mention him later on this pod. Could be near villain territory, that fella, but we won't get stuck into that yet. But yeah, no, like, yeah, long may it continue. It's good, but yeah, it's a bit of a trend with Morikawa. Like, he's won one event since he's won the Open, and that's going back to 2021 in lockdown. He won the CJ Cup or something. That's it. He
won something in 2023 as well, I think.
That's it. The CJ Cup thing.
But blew a 6-shot lead in the Century last year.
Yeah.
He still has those sort of not pitching woes to say it, but like, he's still not solid on them. Those 30-yarders.
Yeah, you could tell when he was 3 shots clear and everything was fine, tipping away nicely, he just didn't do it. Like, he didn't have that killer instinct that we all refer back to a Tiger or a Scheffler or what he's done, or Rory sometimes when he gets 3 or 4 clear like that. You just don't catch those guys. And he didn't. It's like, even when he went behind, I know 16, 17 and 18, well, 16 is not. He didn't make a birdie on 16. That was massive.
Yeah.
Like, just missed that green. Obviously, then you're leaving the chance open. Henley chips in, and we barely got to see half it on the telly. They clip back after the ads. We nearly missed that. But
what channel are you watching this on?
Sky.
Are you?
Sky literally came on. Why? Where were you watching it?
Sky as well.
On Sky, they literally just came back from an ad break. Oh, and just, here's his chip. He just chipped in.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it was literally the first thing they did. I was like, Jesus, they've missed this, and they're just stitching it in now because they're on an ad break. But yeah, it was more so. So he didn't birdie 16, and then 17 was a bit of a bailout. So he's not going chasing it down, you know. No. So he's not. And then when you know you need to make something happen on 18, he did hit a lovely drive, but then his approach in, he just went for the fat of the green between the two bunkers. Yeah, he didn't try,
and he was a club long as well.
Yeah, and so his way of trying to win was hoping Henley was going to make a mistake, and that just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, his putt on the 16 for birdie was very poor, and his putt on 18 was shocking.
He knocked it like 10 foot past. But yeah, it was just one of those events. Yeah, I liked it. I liked watching it, but I get what you're saying. It was like a game of chess for some of the round. Like it was just, it went a bit stale. But there was just loads of storylines, like, because they covered it well. We didn't get to see much of Lowry in the final round. We got to see bits of Rory. We got to see a bit of Scotty Scheffler struggling. He's really struggling with the putter now.
Yeah, he did another horrendous week on the greens, but still, you're looking into the weekend, and I think when Larry had that poor start on Saturday, Scheffler got himself to within 3, and you're just sitting there thinking, this lad's done absolutely nothing all week, and he's still 3 behind. Like it's terrifying. But yeah, he's not been. Now this is talking from his ridiculously high standards. He's not been at it since he tried to chop off his fingers. Yeah.
That'll happen. That'll cut the best of us back. Yeah, but he's changed his putting grip. He's gone like the claw grip. He's moved around. Like there's a lot of.
He's not set on one though.
No, he's not set on one. So he's still, which is scary to think. And I know they hit it on Sky Sports when we were watching it. It is scary to think that, like, he went from being one of the worst players on tour on the greens to the best player last year, and by changing things, finding something that works, and now he's going changing it again. You're playing with fire, like. So, and it doesn't seem to be working out for him. But yeah, he'll be judged when he drives up Magnolia Lane. Like, all this is just reps, I suppose, for him, just getting into it and getting going. He's still dangerous. He's still thereabouts, and he will figure something out. But there's a lot of that going on now. This week, going into this week, then with the players as well. Just guys getting reps in. It's their last big event really before the Masters. You've no signature events between the Masters then, isn't it not? This is the last Siggy before it.
It's the last Siggy, yeah. You got the Valspar, Houston, and the Valero Texas Open, so McIlroy will have to pick of one of those 3, I'd say.
Yeah. I seen, like, on Rory, so let's get stuck into Rory and Shane. I don't know which one we go with first.
There are two, I suppose, before you pick either of them, both of them were kind of tinkering away with equipment this week.
And that's what I wanted to get into. There's a lot of that going on across. And, like, I'm not sure equipment manufacturers up and down the country will be happy with their players. This happened even, like, 2 weeks ago with Aberg when he won. He changed his driver. Like, he was using a Titleist GT2, I think, for most of the round. And before the final round, switched back to his old TSR. At least, like, Rory and Shane, they're all sticking within the same parameters of their... But, like, you see with Lowry, he was experimenting with up to 15 drivers on the range before...
Didn't even know what one he was using.
No. Just knows it has Shrixon written on the bottom of it, and that's it. So you have different iterations, different shafts, different setups, and just can't find a head that suits him. But, ironically, on the Saturday, it was his iron play off the tee that totally outdone him. Like, those... Hitting iron off, it was one of the worst shots I've seen a professional hit in a while under that sort of pressure. You know, the shot he hit on 11 and then 13 as well cost him shots on both holes, obviously. But I was very impressed with Lowry, how he held himself. Like, the old Lowry just would have blown a head gasket at this, and totally. But he seemed very relaxed walking up. It was Wyndham Clark he was playing, wasn't it? So yeah, half of the Bay GC walking up, and the two lads had stinkers.
Trying to keep up team morale.
Yeah, the two lads had stinkers. Like, but they
perspective. We're in the TGL playoffs here. This doesn't matter.
That's it. It's only Bay Hill. It was grand. We're only playing for $20 million. It's grand. The big one is in a few weeks at the SoFi. So they're in the semi-finals of that anyway. Yeah, but it's I was more impressed by Shane's mannerisms, like how he finished off that round, because it was so frustrating for him. Just nothing was happening. He lost it off the tee. He just wasn't himself. And yeah, like he still got he like when he's not bringing his A game, and he's still like he finished 8th in this tournament.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's just a shame that the Saturday. Like, unfortunately, like, there's probably a reason that he hasn't won as much as he should have, and it always seems to be one point in a tournament where he's just completely battling with himself. But I do think he can take a lot of positives in the way he
massively
he bounced back after the 2 doubles and then carried that on into Sunday as well.
Yeah, no, he played well, and like it's you have to give Shane Lowry credit. Like, I did give him a lot of abuse this time last year. It was this event last year that he got a MasterCard exemption, and he kicked on from there. Like, and what he's done in the last year, like, he's up to his highest ever world ranking now after this week.
Yeah,
14th in the world. Like, there's a lot of hard work has gone into this, and he does, like, at the start of the year, I know he comes out looking fit, but he does look fitter. He looks stronger.
He does, yeah. He actually does now. In fair, like, a lot of people were saying that to me over the weekend, and he just looks a lot slimmer. And like, I never thought he was, like, you know.
No, massive. You wouldn't look at it. He's a golfer, you wouldn't look at that, but you can tell he's just, I don't know, mentally, physically, he looks to be, his game is on a different level, and yeah, he is definitely going to knock down a big tournament this year.
Yeah,
by him.
He's done pretty much everything, like, bar win since he was third at the Irish Open in 2023. Like, he's missed just 3 cuts since then, 9 top 10s, and he's been in the top 13 in 11 of his last 13 starts.
That's frightening stuff when you consider what he's up against. Got, like, it's all signs are pointing to an unbelievable defence in Royal Portrush. But there's a lot of water under the bridge between now and then.
Win the TGL playoffs.
Win the TGL, that's the thing. First man to hit a ball in the TGL, first man to lift a trophy. Going for the big Sam Maguire, the skinny Sam Maguire, the TGL trophy. No, it'll be good. You just have to give him, because he's been through his struggles the few years before that. So, yeah, hats off to Shane Lowry and what he's done, how he's turned it around in that 12-month period since we go back to the Arnold Palmer last year. But Rory's equipment is it's worrying now. If I'm being a big Rory fanboy, I am. When I hear like, it all makes sense what he's trying to do, and I know, like, I don't know if any, like, did you hear his presser? Did you hear what he was talking about beforehand? So
yeah, he was trying new woods for the first 3 rounds, and then he just went back to his old stuff. Yeah. I mean, like, you're only after winning like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, and he won, like, he looked so comfortable 4 weeks ago with his QI10 stuff. Obviously, TaylorMade are mad to get him into the new QI35. Same with Scotty Scheffler. Scotty made the move this week as well. So there was, like, apparently they've a tour head that lies in between the core and the LS model. It's like a QI35 dot, they're calling it on tour, but it won't be available to the general public. But they are doing everything they can to get him into this driver, and he just can't seem to get comfortable with trusting it for himself. Now, Rory's had these issues before. Back with Stealth, he had exactly the same. With Sim, I think, as well, he had the same. So it's an unusual one, and he kind of addressed it like it's a domino effect in his gear, that he changed his golf ball, obviously, before he had the win. He's much better with his wedges now, with those little 3/4 sawn-off wedges. Like, he does look so much better from 120 yards and in now. And the consequence of changing that ball meant that he had to mess around with the bottom end of his bag with his wedges. So he's gone from 4 wedges to 3 wedges. He's strengthened his pitching wedge, I think, by a degree to take it closer to. Oh no, he's de-lofted it by a degree and a half to take it closer to where his 50 degree was before, and now he's right down to 54. So, and then he's gone at the top end of the bag as well. This is all with Augusta in mind. He's looking at that. So now he kind of described it really well, that he was saying he felt in some courses like this week that he was at a bit of a disadvantage. His length was a disadvantage, that bunkers and fairways kind of taper in at like 310, 320 yards. He can fly that, whereas most of the field, a lot of them are running up or in around that area. So it was taking driver out of his hands or making the margin for error so much. So he felt as though he was being hindered by that. So he strengthened his 3-wood to like whatever he's using now. Like, it was a 15 degree, it's straightened down to 14 degrees or 13.5 degrees. He did toy around last year with like a mini driver and stuff like that. So there's a lot of work gone into that, and the gapping that has from driver back. So he said he can hit his 3-wood carry now 300 yards to leave him in that sweet spot that he wants. And then as a consequence, he's had to put a 5-wood in that he's straightened to a 4-wood, and then measure the gap from the 5-wood back to his 4-iron. Like, so there's a lot of messing going on. It's just a bit too close to the Masters for my liking. But hopefully he tweaks it this week. Like, this week he'll tell a tale what he comes out with. Like you said, he did switch back to QI10 for the last round of Bay Hill, which is not ideal.
No, and it's just one of those things, like with Rory and preparing for Augusta. I mean, he's pretty much tried every trick in the book, and that's even before he decides like what third event to play after the Players. And I don't know, it's just classic Rory this time of year. There's always going to be Masters noise, and I just think sometimes he just doesn't really help his own cause.
Yeah, just flip-flopping a little bit. But no, hopefully he gets stuck on something this week, finds something and just sticks with it. And like, if that's last year's product, that's last year's product. Who cares? Once it works for him, that's the main thing. So, you know, it's the most important thing is trying to win the Masters, not trying to keep a contract that you've signed with an equipment manufacturer happy. So, yeah. On for that one. What did you think of the caddy talk, actually?
With Larry and Reynolds?
With them all, with everybody like that. We, we got to hear a lot more that MasterCard sponsored that this week. Well, last week.
Yeah.
Hill, like, you got to hear a lot more. There was a lot more boom mic action going up close to them and hear them talking through. What happened with Larry and Reynolds? What were you?
Oh, I can't remember. It was on like day one, but they were just talking about I think maybe hitting like a 5-iron in or something to one of the greens. But like it was just part, and then the TV said this is all thanks to like MasterCard and whatever. Yeah. I think it's like all the fans want to see it as well. Like, they want to see more interaction. It's a great way to, I suppose, bring the fans inside the ropes, and like the players and caddies take enough time talking about the shots. So yeah, I think the fans should be able to hear some of them at least anyway, because like the discussions always go viral anyway, whether it be Jordan Spieth or Michael Greller, and a lot of people love their dialogue. So there's definitely plenty of characters around that you can definitely base that off.
It's good content, like, and that's what it's all about. Anything else on Arnold Palmer do you want to touch on?
No, just a great event, even though I was just disappointed by the outcome. I just thought after 36 holes we were set for like a bumper weekend, and it just didn't really materialise that way.
Fizzled out for you a little.
I did a little bit, yeah. Excited
for this week though. I'm really looking forward to Sawgrass. Should be good.
Yeah, we're just in that lovely little run now. Florida swing, Masters coming up, just a nice little kind of almost like a microclimate of golf tournaments that are just big every week. And yeah, this is a real chance for, I suppose, some players to put down a real like pre-master statement as well.
Running alongside this as well, then we had the Puerto Rico Open. So we had 2 events on the PGA Tour, and we had Max Kennedy in that one.
Yeah, and he actually got off to a hot start in his first round, but made the cut on his debut, which is obviously brilliant. Final round didn't really go his way. Final round of 74 to finish on 6 under, 70th place. Picked up $8,000 for his troubles.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot. No, it's not a lot, especially when you're thinking what they're playing for just up the road as well. But like, yeah, this wasn't the strongest field in the world. I think Tristan Lawrence was the highest ranked player, and he's like in the mid-60s, I think. But no, like, Max was going well through 36 holes. He was kind of just in the fringes of contention. It would have been class to see him get up there, but I think he showed like he's in a good vein of form. I talked to him before the tournament. I know he missed 3 cuts to start his Challenge Tour season, but he was saying, no, I've been playing well. Just couldn't put all facets of the game together. Did it. Got that top 20 finish in South Africa. Brought it over here. Nearly Monday qualified for the Cognizant Classic, and then just brought it back down to Puerto Rico, and finally got his just rewards in making a cut, and hopefully more invites will come. Like, he got that invite for winning the college tournament last year, but yeah, look, more opportunities he can get, the better. And he's taken a well earned couple of weeks off now as well, because that's a lot of travelling he's after doing.
Yeah, it is. It's so hard with just trying to get a schedule together and hopping that side of the Atlantic, coming back to the Challenge Tour. At least he has Challenge Tour to fall back on. Like, you know, we've been on this wave with Liam Nolan recently as well, and now he's just sitting it out waiting for an event to play in. So it's hard.
Yeah, well, he's playing this week.
He's playing this week. Yeah, well, that's...
But yeah, it's fun. Like, we always talk about momentum, like, being so massive, and fortunately for Liam, was able to get that early in the season. But yeah, it's difficult when you've taken 2 or 3 weeks off to get back on the horse again and keep reproducing, because you know when your season's kind of based off invites for now anyway, to do that kind of rejig in the middle of the season. Like, it's tough to be able to perform when you know you have to perform. Same with Alex Maguire this week as well, first start of the year. Like, big opportunity and all that, but like, there is
they're
pressure.
In India,
to perform.
aren't they? They're down.
Yeah, in Kolkata.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. I seen him stocking up on the Nutri-Grains or whatever he was bringing with him there. Alex Maguire is sticking up, right, 2 weeks in India, this is what I'm bringing, and he'd like all sorts of protein bars and stuff, trying to avoid the deli belly.
Yeah, honestly.
But no, it's good to see Max down there doing what he did and making a cut, and yeah, it's a good experience for him. So yeah, on to the next. Hopefully he'll keep moving in the right direction, because he's shown all the right signs. And like, of all of our lads that are coming through, like those 3 we've just spoken about there are ones that you would really like to see something happen for this year, and just move to where we know they can progress their way up the game. So outside that, like, the biggest men's event outside that was Live Golf Singapore.
Live Golf Hong Kong.
Sorry,
Hong
Singapore.
Kong. You're ahead of
Singapore,
yourself.
I'm ahead of myself this week's Singapore. But yeah, Hong Kong, go Fireballs.
Yeah.
Sergio's back.
At the double, yeah. Sergio picking up his second Live win, 18 under, 3-shot win over Dean Burmester. Phil Mickelson was third.
This is the thing. This is like the fourth Star Wars or something, like when the Empire comes back and all these Sith Lords come out of nowhere, and you've like Sergio
all
coming back, Phil, like,
Paul Casey was up there. Like,
they're all coming back.
All
with
the lads. It was a good week again for McKibben. I think he picked up over 500 grand for his troubles.
Yeah,
not bad. 6th place, 11 under par. Graham McDowell as well, 12th place, 9 under. Both of the lads were in the mix actually going into the final round. And I don't know what it is. I was thinking of this over the weekend, and like, you know, I've watched maybe one live event in my entire life, but when I saw GMAC up there, I was like, oh yeah, good on him. Whereas when I see McKibben up there, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I think it's just the childhood nostalgia of it all.
Yeah,
like, there's GMAC going well again. Great to see. I do kind of feel sorry for him, because I think he was one of those guys at the start.
I do as well.
Just a microphone was plunked in front of him, and he was talking, and then you think he realised, shit, I need to stop talking, but I actually can't stop talking, so I'm just going to keep talking. Yeah. Just dig the deeper hole for myself.
And that really affected him. Like, he's come out and he's spoken about that. Like, that he, like, I know when people will say, oh yeah, the little violins, he got looked after, he got enough money to do this, and he's had a great life, and he's but no, it did really affect him. But on McKibben, like, if McKibben didn't like McKibben, people are still at this, we'd put some stuff up on Live, and they'd still have a go at, oh yeah, money grabbing this, and oh, it's irrelevant. And like, if he didn't go and sign the deal that he's done, he would have been playing in Puerto Rico this week, because he's not eligible to play in any of the signature events with the ranking that he had. So he would have been teeing it up in that field. And when you take, like, I don't know what the winner got for that, but like, so Tom finished tied 6th this week, like you're saying, 11 under, $566,000. You add that to his finish in Adelaide, $470,000, and his finish in Riyadh, $292,000. So in 3 events, he's made $1.3 million in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that
it is validation.
Scary. And when you put, like, you go back and you look at his overall, he played in 31 events in 2023, and he made $872,000. 31 weeks it took him to make that. He made 21 cuts. And then you take it to last year, he played 27 events and he made 1.5 million. So he's already, after 3 weeks, this is not including the team stuff, this is just the individual.
He's getting bang for his buck anyway.
But like, how anybody can give out about him doing that is beyond me.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair enough.
When he's not in the signature events and stuff like that. A lot of stuff happening in Live which are interesting. The Callaway ownership of signing in with Legion 13 as well. It's a strange one.
Yeah, consider who they were before Grayson.
Yeah. Oh, no, well, they're like, it's Callaway they're still with Grayson, for their clothing, but Callaway are like an official partner now of Legion 13, bought into it. So it's probably a sign of first thing to come. It leads into our overall, like, they're attracting sponsors, they're attracting brands now. It's now a legitimized brand, be it people like it or not. And getting back to where this meets with what, like, someone like Rory McIlroy had spoken about in his presser beforehand, like, hinting at the fact that, like, things have changed over the last few weeks and maybe we don't need a deal now and all this sort of bullshit. Like, I have had my fill with this now. I really have. One thing I'm really looking forward to this week is Jay Monahan getting up in front of the world's golf media again and getting absolutely grilled on the bullshit he's been peddling for the last year, 2 years, and getting away with it. So he's in typical Jay Monahan fashion, he's probably going to stand up and talk a whole lot of nonsense about nothing. Give us not much, but
just put a load of like words that are like synonyms for great into like one man-fangled sentence.
Growing the game and all this crap. Like I'm just like he's so in. We're going back to June 6, 2023, when he stood up. By the end of the year, we'll have a deal to unify golf. Him and Yasser go on telly like and do all this and then we're nearly 2 years on from that. And still nothing. And if you're to believe, there was a great article actually in Golf Digest this week. Joel Beale, I don't know if you read it or not.
I've heard of Joel, yeah.
So he put a really, really good piece on where they're at. So apparently, when they met in the Oval Office with Trump 2 weeks ago, it was an absolute, like, it was worse than Zelensky going in there. It was an absolute shit show. And apparently, like, they went in thinking, you know, the PGA Tour are now in a really strong spot. Like, the only obstacle we had to doing a deal was the Department of Justice in the States pushing this deal through, and we'll all have a better deal and going forward, and we'll have this investment and more of the same and move on. Whereas Yasser went in and he was not of that opinion. It was more of a case of, we, like, the DOJ will push something through, but, like, Live Golf isn't going anywhere. This is our baby. This is our brainchild here. We're not just money walking into a room here. And I think they just, there was harsh words had. I think in the same way as Trump said to Zelensky, you don't hold the cards here, mate. Like, we have the money. We are after investing in this project, and it's their own, like...
But they do have all the cards.
They do have all the cards.
They're already invested in that SSG thing. I can't remember what it stands for, but... And Live isn't going away. Like, this is the point. They have 2 TV deals. They're getting all this commercial stuff brought in. Like, I think the best way is just have players migrating between both tours. Yeah,
they have to contract players. Like, as in the PGA Tour do. Like, the players don't want this. They're all... I'm sick of listening to players just with self-interest from players. Like, and it starts with Tiger. Why Tiger Woods and Adam Scott are going negotiating deals is beyond me. Like, let businessmen...
Ollie Fisher said Adam Scott's got a great swing.
Yeah, I know.
So that's what he brings to the proceedings.
Businessmen do this now. Let the big boys take over here. You play your golf, lads. And until golf gets to a situation where these guys are contracted, we're just going to be in this mess, a spiraling mess of guys. And none of the players want to be contracted. Like, I know I harped on about it before.
But they're contracted to play in the signature events.
Yeah, but they don't.
I know they don't. Well, I know
they're not really.
You can miss one, I know, but, like, surely there must be a way where...
So this is the first year they did that. Rory didn't play the first one, said I'm going to play in the rest of them, and then missed a cut at the Masters, and then took a mental health break then.
Oh yeah, but mental health.
Wells Fargo or something he missed at that time. Like, I just... They just need to... Like, we need to get to a stage in professional golf that it's not professional golfers making the rules.
Yeah, well, McGinley said that ages ago. Player power has just gone through the roof.
It totally is. And McGinley makes some really good points on it. Like, there's no other sport in the world that this happens, that the players dictate. Like, it's like, and they've spent a lot of money to both tours, but Live, it's the one thing Live have got right, contracting their players. They know they're turning up, and it's been done to death around that. But I think it was McGinley used a great analogy. It's like Liverpool signing Salah for all this money, and then he just says, do you know what, like, I don't actually want to go up and play Newcastle there. It's a bit cold up there. The missus likes it down in London here. So I'll play all the London games, and I'll go up as far as, I won't go any further north than
Burnley.
I'll do Aston Villa away, but I won't go any further north than that. That's what golfers are doing and getting away with it.
That's why the PGA Tour is losing sponsors as well,
But there's only one solution to it all, and that is get them contracted. It's going to be a very interesting couple of weeks. But if things have soured as much as if you believe online between Yasser and Jay Monahan, I do not know how Jay Monahan is still in the job.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's mental, considering the criticism and even just his whole general talk a big game, but you're actually not doing anything for the last 3 years, really. And again, I don't think we'll get anything massive from his press conference tomorrow. Probably a lot of very political, spin the wheel bullshit kind of answers.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, they're sending statements. 3 weeks ago, the statement was after we had a very productive meeting, or we're going to have a very productive meeting in the Oval Office, this, that and the other. And then the actual truth comes out of what happens, and it's just a shit show. It's not funny anymore. It's not interesting anymore. It's just the same old crap. And people are us, the consumer, that are footing the bill for a lot of this, are just getting very sick of it at this stage. But yeah, I don't know where it's going to go, but yeah, hopefully his press conference this week sheds a bit of light on stuff, because I know he's going to be asked some really, really tough questions. Yeah,
even last night I was actually thinking, when they kind of show that sidebar leaderboard during the final round, and I was thinking at the time, yeah, this is a signature event. Most of the world's best players are here. But even still, sometimes I do look at it, I'm thinking, yeah, you're still missing a Bryson or a Brooks or a Ram to kind of just beef out those top 7 or 8 players. No disrespect to Michael Kim or any of those guys, but you know what I mean.
No, they're missing. And if they can attract 1 or 2 of those guys back, I don't know when their contracts are up or what way they are, but they do need to use some of the collateral they have. But they need to decide what they want to do. Do they want to take on Liv and Piff toe to toe and just go, right, you know what, we'll buy these players back, or we'll start contract? Can they do that? Can they approach Bryson and say, listen, all right, we'll give you equity over here, we'll put you on a contract, we'll start number 1 contract, here you go, get you back? If they can successfully do something like that, then they have a massive product again, and then they're back winning. But do you want to go toe to toe with someone with 32 trillion in the bank? That's the thing, because they could find the middle ground. Yeah, the PGA Tour might keep their big boys. Middle ground might disappear. They just need to work something out. I don't know what way they go forward from this, but I think Liv are holding more cards now than the PGA Tour. And the PGA Tour's just stubbornness not to go global with golf and not to have a worldwide tour and their American-centric way of doing things. It's just coming back to bite them.
Sounds like the PGA Tour want some of the live players to come back and play a handful of events on the PGA Tour during the year, but they don't want it to be vice versa.
Yeah, which you can't have.
No.
They don't hold the cards anymore, and they act like they do. They just need, it needs a clean out at the top, like it has done for years, but now more than ever it needs a clean out at the top. Because if you're the boss of any company, you come out making these promises, like false promises, that they've done for the last 3 years pretty much, but definitely the last 2 years. Or we'll have a deal done by then. This will be unified by then. Don't come out and say it. Don't promise something you can't do. Because it's not just us, the consumers, it's sponsors as well. But they still seem to be getting sponsors into the PGA Tour, which is... It's weird in a way. I seen today they signed Delta Airlines have got involved as a global partner and stuff like that. I don't know, with all the stuff that's going on, do people see an opportunity or what the reasoning behind it is? But yeah, it just doesn't. It seems like a toxic brand to me now at present for any sponsor of a marketing manager or something looking at what golf can offer you, and you're just going, when you sort your stuff out, lads, I'll come and I'll give you what you want, but until then, I'm out. Yeah,
because if you're one of those big sponsors, I know the PGA Tour, the product has been good this year, but there's still so much uncertainty. In 6 months' time, who knows what the product's going to look like. I said it before, I do think that Liv's sort of inactivity in terms of recruiting players outside of McKibben does show that there's definitely, they must be close to something along the lines of some sort of reunification, but Like
but
the longer it goes on, like
if the longer they go out, them boys are going to put more bullets and they're going to come back and start taking other players with them. There's no doubt about it. Like, they will come and they'll say, right, who do we want to target here? Like, they probably won't get a McIlroy or a Scheffler, but they'll get someone damn near close. They weren't meant to get Ram, and they did. Like, they will open the checkbook again because it's the only way they know of doing business.
Yeah.
And like, it's a drop in the ocean for them. Yeah, they've spent $5 billion on golf so far, but like, it doesn't dent the edges to what they're looking at. So yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, if you do get a chance to tune in this week to Pontrevita Beach with the boys, Jay Monahan's presser is going to be good. Right, where else do we go in roundup? We had a bit of PGA action with Leona was in action.
Bit of LPGA action. Leona was in action. Yeah, she was. The Blue Bay LPGA over in China. She was tied 33rd on 2 over par, rounds of 73, 75 before encouraging weekend rounds of 71 and 71. Yeah, look, she said in her Instagram that the greens were interesting to say the least. So I'd say it probably wasn't the best putting surfaces to be putting on, but like, yeah, she didn't really have her game tee to green either, to be honest. Like, hit 39 at 56 fairways, 42 out of 72 greens, 108 putts. Sounds like a lot, in fairness. Yeah, she was just a solid, if not spectacular week. They love a good old no cut week on the LPGA and the Asian swing. Love it.
Yeah. Because when they're ahead of they're ahead of their time.
They were ahead of their time a few years back.
Visionaries.
And Rio Takada won by 6 shots on 17 under par. Picked up 375,000 for her troubles.
That's the thing when you think like that. You put that into context with what McKibben did.
Yeah,
for tied 6th.
Yeah, Leona got 15.5 grand, so got more than Max.
Got more than Max, yeah, exactly. It's not too shabby. Sarah Byrne didn't have the best of weeks on the Epsom this week either.
No, she did not. She did not. Missed the cut by a bit of a distance. 83 in the first round, 73 in the second. So although she did improve, you're just not making the cut after that first round, are you?
Yeah, it's unlikely.
But she's back in action this week as well, so it's good to see her getting the reps in.
Yeah. We've a lot back in action this week. There's a lot of Irish
we do
this week.
Well, at the moment, the 3 Irish girls are playing in Australia at the Australian Women's Classic. That's already been reduced to 54 holes because of what the cyclone did over the weekend, and this is after the Aussie WPGA was cancelled because of the cyclone. So Lauren Walsh, Annabelle Wilson and Anna Foster were kind of tornado dodging for the week, but they're down in Coffs Harbour Golf Club for hopefully 54 holes on Friday, because bloody hell, it's a long way to go and not playing any golf. Yeah.
Oh, stop. We had some massive announcements last week as well on the KPMG Women's Irish Open at Carton House. So they've started to unveil their field, and they had some players that I just did not expect them to announce. Like, getting Charlie Hull as an announcement is huge.
I knew that was going to happen.
Did you?
I knew it. The way Mark was bigging it up during the week, and after announcing Norquist and Sykstrom, I was like, yeah, Charlie Hull will be the one, because Georgia Hall's already there as well. Leona's there. It just beefs up the entire field. It's going to be brilliant, because it's going to be the first Irish Open. This will be the 4th edition since it came back on the schedule, where Leona just couldn't be further away from being the main attraction. Yeah,
there's going to be some big players in that field, and it needs that depth of being able to, because if you remember last year, Leona, didn't they do a split tee start or something? Like, Leona was well back going into the final day, and if they were running this tournament normally, she would have been teeing off at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they said, no, we're going to do a 2 tee start now, and Leona's actually playing at 11 o'clock and just move it around a little bit so people could get in. And fair play to them for doing that, but they're not going to be left in a position where they're going to get some of these big name players up near the top, and it's going to be cool. So, and
like in Hull, they've probably got the most popular player in the world right now.
Yeah,
in fairness to them, but it just beefs up the entire field, especially considering we could have, anywhere between 13 and 15 Irish girls playing, which is already great. So you've kind of got that angle sorted. You've sort of grown the Irish women's game. Now you need to start adding some star quality, where it's not all just relying on Leona Maguire.
Yeah, no, definitely. And they've some really good deals on early bird tickets for this as well. Like, it's on the 30th of June to the 6th of July. So it's great timing during the school holidays as well this year. So they've some really good family packages, all that. So if you visit KPMG Women's Irish Open.ie, you can find everything there. But there's no doubt that, like, these tickets will sell out now this year.
Yeah.
I think they will anyway, with that sort of strength of field. So,
would you like to see the Women's Irish Open on the links course going forward?
Yeah, I did hear before, like, it was only rumour at the time, that they were looking at as a kind of set the stage for the Open Championship coming to Portmarnock, that they were looking at the KPMG Open, the Women's Open there. I would like to see that, yeah. I would love to see, like, County Louth or someone like that host an Irish Open. A Women's Irish Open. I think it'd be really, really good. Even some of the shorter, like, you could go back when we've tried it on some of the shorter links. Like, I don't know, do you remember back when we had the Irish Open in Ballybunion? No? You're nodding the head there looking at me. 2000, I think it was. Patrick Shelton.
Here, I was only like 3.
So Patrick Shelton won, but he shot like a bazillion under. Like, he took the place asunder because it was just flat calm. And he was able to knock his way around. But yeah, I would like to see some of our old courses. Yeah, but it's just very hard. It's easy for us to say I'd love to see it on this course or I'd love to see it on that course. But it's all about ticket sales and how many people you can get onto a site and what you can deliver. The fact that they're getting a much better field now, attracting a much better field. Yeah, I'd love to see it the week before the Open because they'd get a world class field. But
yeah, I was just saying there because I was looking at the Golf Ireland amateur schedule, and like, we nearly complain that we play too much links golf in the men's amateur scene. They play absolutely minus links golf in the women's. Yeah. So I just thought maybe it would be worth trying to get that link. Yeah.
Oh, Leona would like it anyway. She'd definitely be a fan of it. But no, it's good. It's good. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, so anyone that is looking to get a good event in, that KPMG Women's Irish Open, definitely hit it up. I think that's pretty much it, Ronan, is it?
I think so, yeah.
Nice quick pod today. We'll have to get stuck into heroes and villains.
Yeah, we will actually, yeah.
So, villains. Let's go with the villains first. Do you have a villain?
Come back to me.
That means you've nothing written down.
I have nothing written down.
I'm going to go Brian Harman. I mentioned him earlier on. Him and Lucas Glover just talking smack. It just boils back to the same thing I'm giving out about players making rules, trying to dictate where the game is going. They were talking about the ball rollback again. So players have been testing out the rollback ball and stuff like that. And yeah, to just some of the points the lads were making are just so selfish. Looking at things, so yeah, it just really annoyed me. It's something that the players just do not need to have a say in where the game is going. Like, yeah,
he's a bit of a whinge bag, isn't he?
Totally, yeah. He wasn't he giving out about aim point?
Yeah,
a few weeks ago as well. He's been
against the signature events. He's against aim points and everything. Yeah, he's just a walking bag of sweat.
The big Docker's hole on him. Right, yeah. Where do we go from that then? Villains,
heroes.
You have to pick a villain.
I haven't got one yet. I have a hero though.
You have a hero.
I have a hero, Mike McG. So F Truck on Twitter. Things golf Twitter can all get behind. 1, slow play. 2, Dan Rappaport being a massive douchebag. So poor Dan gets some abuse. In fairness to him, like.
It's not poor Dan. He deserves it. He deserves it. He deserves it. Did you watch Full Swing actually yet? Speaking of that,
I'm 3 episodes in, so I've watched the McIlroy US Open loss. Yeah, and I actually Netflix are my villains because I'm convinced they made that putt on 18 seem like 2 foot shorter than it actually was. Like, I'm nearly 12 months saying, that putt on 18. I still get asked about it. And I still say, that putt on 18, left to right, but 4.5 feet. That's a nasty putt.
I was 2.5, 3 foot. Like, it wasn't very.
And then I watched it on Netflix. I was like, and then my first thought was, fuck, how did he miss that?
Yeah, stop. Right. So who's your hero then?
I just said who my hero was.
Oh yeah,
F Truck.
Right, and your villain is Netflix.
Netflix.
Okay. Yeah, we'll wrap it up with that. I'll go with Netflix as well. Didn't give them the villain shout out when I watched it first, but yeah, I'm happy enough to go with that. Can't think of any more bad people in golf. But Jay Monahan, I'll call him out as a villain just for. And if you want me to say something else, I'll just say Gary Player. He's always the fallback villain. Right, no, that's it. Cheers for tuning in. Do visit flowgas.ie for all your energy needs. I know the weather's changing now, but they do have plenty of packages available for both gas and electricity. So they support golf, so support them back. Visit flowgas.ie. Cheers for tuning in. Ronan, thanks for sitting down this week again. And yeah, we'll be back with plenty more stuff for the Players' Championship this day next week. Visit irishgolfer.ie if you want to keep up to date with any of the tournaments and anything that's going on. We've lots of Irish on tour this week, so Ronan and Mark will be flat to the mat covering everything. So visit the website for all your needs, and we'll talk to you again next week. Cheers, bye.